Welcome to the ALP channel where anything is possible. Well, we'll talk about anything and everything. Tonight, we're going to talk about something I heard about the other day and did a little research. Uh, the Mammoth Cave mummies. I've heard of Mammoth Cave, but I didn't know it had mummies. So, so I found something new that I didn't know about. So I'm spreading the love so everybody know about. So, um, little backstory on the Mammoth Cave. It's uh, for thousands of years, it's been a very valuable mineral deposit for Native Americans. They there's been lots of finds and stuff around there. It's pretty amazing, really. All the artifacts and mummies they found in there. It's several in there. Um, the first mummy they found was in 1811. Some miners found an infant aged between 9 to 12 months. Um, was impeccably preserved, they say, wrapped in a canvas-like cloth and enveloped in deerskin. And so, but when the miners transported the infant mummy from the cave to normal atmospheric conditions, all but its skull disintegrated into dust within hours. Adding to the tragedy, says, not knowing what to do, they disposed of the remains and clothing in a furnace. So it burnt the whole poor baby up. Of course, the baby was gone. It wasn't a live baby, but still, it was. The remains had been there for a long, long time, and then they got messed with, and then it got burned up. Sad situation. But they also, after that, they tried to uh, promise rewards if they, took care of it. They found more mummies and stuff like that. They would take care of them. It was sad that we did lose that one, the baby mummy, being so pristine. And it's sad they had a baby mummy in there. It's just sad situation. Another one of the mummies was the fawn hoof mummy, probably one of the most well known um, mummies that they found. Uh, is one of the reasons for Mammoth Cave key, and global recognition. Let's say the saga unfolded back in 1811, weeks before the New Magic earthquakes would rock the region. The Saltpeter mining in Short Cave, a few miles south of Mammoth Cave, the miners' routines strike to the ground with a wooden shovel transformed from a skull. I'm looking at a picture of a skull, so it makes me messed up. A soft, dull thud to a loud, hollow ring. This marked the beginning of an intriguing tale. Upon discovering the flat rock beneath the cave's floor, the miner, driven by curiosity, carefully excavated around it. As the clay was removed from the top and sides, an unusual sight unfolded. A 4 foot by 4 foot crypt was revealed beneath the rock, leaving the miner in shock. Resting inside the crypt was the preserved body of an ancient Native American woman, seated upright with remarkable preservation. Her folded arms and hands wrapped in a small cord suggested intentionally positioned at the time of her entombment. Two deerskins embellished with imprints of vines and leaves of a pure white substance draped her body, enclosed by a large square sheet woven from inner tree bark fibers. Her dark red hair was cut to within an eighth of an inch, and her teeth were white and in perfect symmetry. Huh. Evidence of the two wounds emerged. I just can't read and talk sometimes. Evidence of 2 wounds emerged upon inspection, one between her ribs, between the backbone and then one between an injured eye. Her skin was dark and hardened to her bones. Further examination revealed her weight at 14 pounds. Wow, that's, after everything. Yeah. And her height would be about 5'10", which is a tall woman back in the day. Beside her lay moccasins, a knapsack, and another bag made from inner tree bark fibers. Said within the sack and second bag resided a treasure trove of ancient artifacts, including a woven head cap, 7 ornate headdresses crafted from large bird feathers, hundreds of brown bead strings, a necklace with 20 red fawn hoofs, and an eagle claw pendant, a bear jaw pendant, 2 rattlesnake skins, one with 14 rattles in it, numerous bunches of thread and twine, 7 needles made from horn and bone, and 2 bundled cane whistles, plus much more. Had a bunch of stuff in there, didn't it? They said, recognizing the discovery, the miner informed Archibald Miller, Mammoth Cave's manager, who moved the mummy and grave goods to Mammoth Cave. In an effort to capitalize on discovery and attract visitors, Mammoth Cave owners Hyman Grotz and Charles Wilkinson exhibited them near the entrance of the cave of the rotunda. The mummy was a smash hit, drawing in visitors from all corners of the country and captivated Mammoth Cave into immediate fame. Guides led visitors through Mammoth Cave, ensuring they always passed through the rotunda to catch a glimpse of the prehistoric mummy. However, superstitious miners working in the rotunda during the War of 1812 grew worried about its presence and went on strike. They said to address this and to end the strike, the mummy was moved from the rotunda to another passage known as the Haunted Chamber, now Gothic Avenue. Here she was placed in a recessed niche in a ledge near the entrance of the passage, a place to this day still known as Mummy Seat. Visitors today can view the ledge when exploring the cave on the Gothic Avenue tour. Pretty damn neat. Sitting there and moving the poor mummy around. And then you got another one of the mummies they called, following the discoveries of baby mummy and fawn hoof in 1811. Another discovery was unfolded in 1814. 2 mummies were unearthed side by side, positioned 9 feet below the surface of Short Cave. One of them was identified as a male and the other was a female. Both remarkably well preserved and found resting in a squatting position. The identification of these mummies, along with the prior discoveries of baby mummy and fawn hoof, earned Short Cave the nicknames Mummy Cave and Mummy Valley. The male mummy, believed to be under 14 years of age at the time of death, stood at a height of 5'1.25", and hardened flesh clinging to his bones, weighing 6.5 pounds. Of course, he had all kinds of deer skin and brown feathers and stuff. It said the mummy's skull had a 2-inch fracture directly over the cerebellum, believed to be the cause of death. In 1814, the male mummy and its wardrobe was dispatched to New York, where they presented to John Scruder for an expedition at the American Museum. Following Scruder's death in 1821, his son John Jr. relocated the American Museum to a larger building on the corner of Broadway and Ann Streets in the fastest growing lower Manhattan. In 1841, that is, showman P.T. Barnum acquired the museum and consequently the mummy. The movie drew throngs of visitors until tragedy struck in 1865 when the museum was destroyed by fire, leaving the mummy lost for good. The only image they had of it was a drawing. Huh, and that's sad. The Audubon Avenue mummy in 1814 was discovered uh, by two salt Petri miners, adding to the collection of mummies previously discovered within the area. The miners desired to keep their discovery under wraps temporarily, covered the mummy with large stones and made markings on the cave walls for future reference. Unfortunately, upon their return, they could not relocate it, and its mummy stayed concealed until 1840 when the Mammoth Cave hotel owner rediscovered it. Sadly, the mummy had suffered extensive damage and fragmentation from the hefty stones placed on it. It was never displayed to the public, and the location of it today is in fact still exists is unknown. Several cave tours, including the Mammoth Passage tour, passes through the Audubon Avenue, where this particular mummy was discovered nearly 2 centuries ago. They smashed that poor thing, didn't they? Another one was the Little Alice mummy, a privately owned cave belonging to Larkin Proctor. Proctor hatched a scheme to pilfer a mummy from the nearby Salts Cave, a property owned by the Mammoth Cave estate, and clandestinely transported to Grand Avenue Cave since fallen hose bags were sent packing in 1815. There had been no mummy on display in Mammoth Cave area, and Larkin understood acquiring one of these lucrative opportunities for his cave business. It said, according to the Cutler family tradition, 3 local men, 2 Lee brothers, and a William Cutliff executed the plot and stole mummy from Salt's Caves, sold it to Proctor for $85, and deposited in Grand Avenue Cave. On July 23rd, 1875, Proctor claimed the discovery of a new mummy from within his cave. He specified the mummy belonged to a completely new female located in a previous uncharted area of Lee Avenue in Grand Avenue Cave. He detailed the mummy positioning the cave as lying on her side in a sleeping position with her left arm raised on the ground and a bit missing her left hand. He noticed the shrinkage of flesh on the arms and lower limbs, but highlighted the highly preserved state of her body and her 4'5" height. They said suspicions of discovery were widespread within the community, and none were more skeptical than the newspaper editor, Samuel Young. Young said they had stole the mummy from the Salts Cave, and of course there was a little heat there between Young and Proctor. Said business flourished at Proctor's Cave, where the mummy and surrounding controversy had surrounded thousands of paying customers. So the next 15 years, the mummy remained on exhibit and closely guarded. Around 1890, it was sold to Henry Ganter, the former manager in Stagecoach Line of Mammoth Cave Hotel. He said that during the least part of his retirement, the mummy inexplicably lay stored in a barn, but not being exhibited at the Mammoth Cave. In 1916, George Morrison sought out the gather information around the underground passages extending beyond the boundaries. He said he wanted to aim for new entrance there. During this time, that's when he named the mummy Little Alice. Said that's and the name that persists to this day. Said Little Alice remained at the new entrance until 1931, when Morrison sold his land exhibits to the National Park Commission for the new Mammoth Cave National Park. After this, Little Alice was showcased in a small museum within Mammoth Cave until her retirement from public display in the late 1950s. In 1958, the most traveled mummy ever discovered in the region was relocated to the University of Kentucky's anthropology department. where they actually did her first examination. They said they found out that Alice lived during the 1st century AD, and shockingly, it was discovered that little Alice wasn't a she; she's a he. From that point, Alice went by the name Little Al. Terrible. He been misgendered all these years for 83 years. Uh, another mummy uh, was the Lost John mummy. Uh, for millennia, it says Native Americans mined within the Mammoth Cave, uh, employing mussel shells sourced from the nearby Green River to extract minerals such as gypsum and selenite from the cave walls. He said over time, these ancient miners ventured deeper into the branching patches in search of fresh supplies. Evidence in this form of chip marks on the walls, remnants of cane, reed torches, and abandoned moccasins have provided valuable insights. In the 4th century BC, a Native American miner, likely traveled with his companions, entered the cave with intent of finding more gypsum. His only light source in the otherwise pitch black cave was a burning cane reed torch. Carrying hickory nuts for substance and extra torches for survival, he progressed through the cave, covering nearly 2 miles, encountering one gypsum bare room after another until finally the light of the torch unveiled his sought-out gypsum. Cautiously navigating a small ledge, he reached a nook beneath a colossal 6-ton boulder supported by several smaller stones. When kneeling and scraping out the gypsum from the boulder's underside, he or apparently accidentally dislodged one of the supporting stones, causing the massive boulder to collapse. He said in a desperate attempt to escape, he tried to crawl to safety, but no avail. Upon impact, the miner's humerus snapped in half instantly. As the boulder came to rest, he pinned the miner's chest, neck, and hips beneath it. Though his head and legs protruded from the sides, any prospect of escape was gone. The spot would become his final resting place, his tomb. Man, that's been terrible. Man got squished, and he probably must have suffered sitting there waiting and just knowing that at this moment he's about to be gone. It said at this time, over passing the months, decades, and centuries, his body dried and hardened. At that time went by, as the time went by, the dry atmosphere of Mammoth Cave transferred his body into a mummy. Said 2,500 years later, in 1935, guides led a crew 2 miles into the cave with the goal of constructing a better trail through the passages. Despite their intimate knowledge of the cave passages, they discovered a ledge 20 feet above the floor or 70 feet south of Waldock Dome. The ledge, previously unexamined by both men, became the focal point of their attention. Methodically, they ascended the wall, and near the top, their gasoline ladders revealed a narrow passage between the large limestone block and the cave wall. On their hands and knees, Cutliff and Campbell surveyed the area and were astonished to find the protruding head of the mummified miner half buried in the sand. Damn. Realizing the significance of the discovery, they understood that merely mentioning the new mummy could draw hundreds, or if not thousands, of people to the site. As a result, they decided to notify managers Cave and the National Park Service and maintain relative silence until experts arrived to take charge. So their only slip-up occurred during a conversation with hotel clerk Arthur Dole, to whom they disclosed their discovery. During the conversation, Dole halfly jokes, "So you finally found Lost John," to a man who had gone astray years earlier. From that moment, the mummy was christened Lost John. Huh. Pretty wild. He said after checking out the mummy, it was established he was probably about 45 years old and about 5'3.5". It said, apart from the modest woven garment that covered him, the only two items were found in his possession was a polished mussel shell and a woven bag, both of which the miner had been using for collecting gypsum at the time of his death. Pretty sad there, huh? But yeah, I didn't know nothing about all them little mummies and stuff up in there. It was pretty neat to hear about them and check them out. I wouldn't be. I've seen them signs and stuff from Mammoth Cave, and I thought about going up there before and check it out. I like checking out caves and stuff like that. So um, it's right there in Kentucky. So yeah, if you're in the area, you can go by and take a look, see, and uh, maybe you can find you a mummy too. Who knows? You never know. Um, I ain't gonna be digging around and going through no little bitty holes though. Uh, I went up to one cave. There's a place up in Kentucky where it's you can they got a little cave through there, and then you can go there and pet kangaroos and stuff. It's pretty neat little place. It's a short little walk through cave, but it's a pretty cave. Um, but like I said, just some neat little information of the mummies. Like, let's see what y'all think about it. Yeah, I just want to see what y'all think about it and see what what would you are you interested in go see it now? Go see the cave system. Um, that's sad on some of the mummies getting smashed and demolished and one getting burned up. You know, they've been there for all them years, and then people start messing with stuff and destroy their burial ground. Sad, but uh, I hope you like this one. I hope if you're all the way down to this point, I appreciate you listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Uh, it's pretty interesting, stuff here. Um, if you like this, this style of it, of me doing, me just kind of, uh, you know, just let me know in the comments. What do you think? Because I'm still learning and growing in this, and um, still figuring out different ways of certain things I know about. I got an idea of, so I can kind of uh, throw out there my opinion on stuff, or on like this right here. I just really didn't know about them, so all I could do is write down notes of um, what other people have done reports on, and then let y'all know. So I appreciate y'all listening. Please like and share, and that helps out with the algorithms and all that kind of good stuff. And um, you can check me out on uh, YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, and all your other favorites on your podcast. I'm also syndicating on the Trouble Mind Radio Network, KUPD. If you go on there and listen, you'll hear a bunch of as I'm on there, and several other great people are on there on their shows. Lots of different ideas and different style shows, and I'm sure you're gonna hear something that you like. If you like this, I know you'll like it. So check it out for sure. And and as always, y'all keep on keeping on in peace and chicken grease. Y'all be good.